Hey guys, it's Cena, and this is Wrestling Unlimited. As it's Monday, we're talking Monday Night Raw. I'm going to say it right off the bat. Tonight's Monday Night Raw, to me at least, and I don't know if it felt like this to any of you guys, but to me, it felt like it flew by. It really felt like it started and it was over. Like, this show was very easy to watch and felt like it just skated by easy. Nothing seemed horrible like a lot of weeks. There's always like that horrible Raw segment, and I'm going back through my notes looking at it, and I'm like, you know what? This may have been, oh, no, not even Bianca Carmelo I could say is horrible. It was odd, but I wouldn't say it was horrible. But when I'm looking and I'm trying to, look through my notes and go, well, what, am I just not remembering something? No. I'm remembering everything. Everything was good to really good. Well, decent to really good. So, hey, kudos to WWE for having a pretty good episode of Raw that flowed well. Everything made sense. And like I'm saying, not just a good episode of Raw, but when you really look at it, this is a good go-home show. Because everything that they did made sense for the pay-per-view this weekend. There we go. But with that, I want to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. But I also want to thank you if you're watching later, whether that is on youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or listening on podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, Google Pod, Apple Pod, and so many more. Remember, if you are watching live, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime. You take that Amazon Prime account, you take that Twitch account, you link them together, bada bing, bada boom, you're Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and they always give you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if that was right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. But remember, doesn't even have to be your Amazon Prime account. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your best friend, your landlord, your dog walker, your milkman, if you got one. Anybody. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account. You just link it to your Twitch. Doesn't cost you anything extra. And there you go. Not only are you supporting maybe us, hopefully us, but also when you're watching that channel you're supporting, which again, I hope it's us, right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited, you don't have to watch any ads. Also, over on YouTube, you can support us by becoming a channel member by hitting that join button. Hit that join button to become a channel member, and you will get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Also, remember that you can get all of that, but more directly support us, and it's easier for you guys to make sure you got everything at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether that is a new game, whether that is an old game, whether you're claiming one of the free games or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, or Fall Guys. Last week, Fall Guys went free to play for everybody, which means it's now on the Xbox and the Switch, which means it's now got a Battle Pass system, which means you're going to have to buy the Battle Pass system if you're up into Fall Guys and all that stuff. And, well, when you do, use the code PW Unlimited. Use the creator code PW Unlimited at checkout, whether that is on the Epic Game Store launcher on your computer or through Fortnite, Rocket League, or Fall Guys on your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo Switch. But with that, we've got Money in the Bank to talk about. They kicked off with a 19.5-minute battle royal, which was a last chance qualifier for Money in the Bank. But here's the thing. So, they said this was the last chance qualifier to get the last spot into Money in the Bank, but then we learned there's still one spot open. We were supposed to get Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel, or Elias, or Elrod. And that match ended up getting rescheduled, even though it was advertised 4 minutes before Raw went on the air. Literally, they sent out the Monday Night Raw preview email, and it was John Cena's coming on the show, Ezekiel versus Elias. 4 minutes before Raw went on the air. And I'm like, where's the match? Who's getting the final spot? What's going on? And all they said was, we were all supposed to have another qualifying match, Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel, but that match has been rescheduled. But they didn't say to win, and they also didn't say how they're going to get the last member of the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match, because, like I said, Kevin Owens and Ezekiel didn't happen. When Riddle, which we'll talk about this whole match here in a moment, but when Riddle won the Battle Royal, they said Riddle has claimed the final spot in Money in the Bank. And then they show the graphic, and they say there's still one spot open. So I don't know. If I had to make an assumption, and I don't want to say this, maybe something happened to Owens, because Ezekiel was on the show. Ezekiel was there in a segment with Cena, but no Kevin Owens to be seen at all. I didn't see him at the beginning, and maybe I missed it, but I didn't see him at the beginning when Cena walked in and hands shook and hugged and whatever, a bunch of people. And I didn't see him when Cena made his way to the ring and everyone was lined up at the top of the ramp. So hopefully Kevin Owens is okay, but I don't know exactly what's going on with him. Again, we saw Ezekiel, but no Kevin Owens. As far as this Battle Royal does go, a bunch of people were in the ring, including Riddle. And no, not including Riddle, including AJ Styles. But then we got entrances for the Mysterios, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Riddle. Amir Mahan got the first elimination, eliminating Tozawa pretty quickly, and then Shelton Benjamin right after. Mustafa Ali held down Mahan, so the Mysterios can give him a 619, and then those three worked together to eliminate Veer. Shanky eliminated R-Truth before Jinder actually eliminated Shanky. Shanky eliminated Styles, AJ that is, eliminated T-Bar. And they made a big deal about T-Bar a couple of times in this match. No, Styles eliminated Jinder. Ricochet eliminated T-Bar before T-Bar eliminated after T-Bar eliminated Reggie. After commercial break, Ciampa was eliminated by Ali. Well, no, that was actually during the break. But anyways, Styles, no, I wrote this way wrong. That's not right. Ciampa eliminated Ali during the break, and then Styles eliminated Ciampa when they were on the apron, and he pushed him into the ring post. Dominic tried to clothesline Dolph Ziggler out of the ring, and Ziggler held on while Dominic fell out for the elimination. Ray almost eliminated Miz, but Miz and Ziggler teamed up to eliminate Ray. T-Bar tried to shove Ricochet off the apron, but Ricochet landed on a ladder and just jumped back into the ring. Hit a Hurricane Rana and eliminated T-Bar, as we said earlier. Nakamura eliminated Ziggler by kicking him off the top rope. Then Miz jumped off the rope and was selling his leg very good, like very well. And I go, whoa. Miz is not this good of a seller. What's going on? Miz then rolls under the bottom rope and out to the outside where they check on him. But they kept showing the Miz over and over again. So I'm like, oh, he's coming back. If this was a real injury, they wouldn't keep showing him. But because they kept showing the Miz, I'm like, oh, this is a real injury. Or not a real injury. But Miz played it up really well, like he couldn't stand and he couldn't put any weight on the left leg or anything like that. And I'm like, kudos to Miz. He's working on his selling. Riddle used a Pele kick at one point while Nakamura was on the apron to eliminate him. Styles then eliminated Ricochet. Riddle and Styles stood toe-to-toe, and the crowd cheered, assuming they were the final two. Styles went over to the top rope and tried to do the phenomenal forearm when Miz would yank him off the apron and eliminate him. Riddle was still down when the Miz would jump into the ring. Riddle gave him a draping DDT, and Miz blocked an RKO attempt and hit a skull-crushing finale. Riddle then gave Miz an RKO on the apron, and the Miz fell off to get eliminated. For the elimination, and Riddle qualifies for Money in the Bank. So all the, Riddle lost to Omos. Riddle's not in Money in the Bank. What the hell are they doing here? Riddle's in Money in the Bank. Riddle is in Money in the Bank. So that's really good to see. As we moved forward, again, this is when they told us, hey, no Ezekiel, no Kevin Owens. That match is not happening. So as we move on, Cena was in the back with the Street Profits, and he gave him a pep talk. They felt like they didn't have the stuff to beat the Usos. And Cena's like, excuse me, former Raw Tag Team Champions, your former NXT Tag Team Champions, former SmackDown Tag Team Champions. You've done it all. You got the accolades. What the hell are you talking about? No, you guys can beat the Usos. They showed videos of a bunch of legends congratulating John Cena on 20 years, including, yes, AEW's Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, and The Big Show, Paul White. Yes. And even later, they showed Chris Jericho. On the back, Riddle told Kevin Patrick how psyched he was for Money in the Bank in Las Vegas. Next up, Montez Ford took on Jey Uso. The winner of this match got to pick the stipulation for Money in the Bank in the WWE Undisputed World Tag Team Championship match. Not world, but you know what I mean. Ford was in control early on until Jey dropped him on the apron and drove him into those steel steps. Ford came back after a break with a clothesline, some kicks, and a jumping clothesline, then a standing moonsault for a 2. Jey used an elevated neck breaker for a 2, and Ford responded with a blockbuster for a 2 of his own. Jimmy distracted Ford, so Dawkins tackled him at ringside. Jey wiped out Dawkins with a dive before Ford took out Jey with a dive of his own. Ford then followed this up with a huge frog splash. And there we go. He got it to pick up the victory. And 1, 2, 3. Now, Street Profits get to pick the step. Unless I missed something, I didn't see them say what the step is going to be. Again, unless I missed something, I didn't see anything else with the Street Profits where they said what they wanted the stipulation to be. If I missed it, let me know in the live chat. So as we moved on, Finn Balor and Damian Priest approached the Mysterios in the back. Balor noted that it was almost Ray's 20-year anniversary here in WWE, even though Ray's been around for way longer than 20 years, not in WWE, but WWE, WCW, you know, his whole career, ECW, Mexico, and all that. Anyways, Balor mentioned how successful Ray has been and wondered what he was teaching Dominic. Priest thought maybe Dominic needed a better leader. Balor wondered if it wasn't bad luck hurting Dominic, but a bad father. Now, context here, these two teams, Priest and Balor and the Mysterios, faced off on the last episode of what's it called? Main Event. Dominic was to go after them when they backed off. Ray then challenged them to a tag team match next week in their hometown of San Diego, and it is official. They will be facing off next week. The Mysterios against Judgment Day, but I want to look at something really fast on WWE's website. Uh, no. Trying to see if anything else got announced for next week, but no, just the one match. At least that I can find. I haven't seen Raw Talk, so. Next up, there's the long Cena video package covering his career in WWE, his charitable work, and his success in Hollywood. Kevin Patrick was in the ring and, well, interviewed The Miz. He talked about Logan Paul, how Logan Paul wants to return to the ring. Logan Paul's been training. And Miz goes, yeah, I set up his training session. We're teaming at SummerSlam. And Kevin Patrick's like, are you sure you're teaming at SummerSlam? I mean, remember the last time we saw you two together? You attacked him from behind. WrestleMania. Miz explained that Paul approached him after that happened and he told Paul it was a, quote, teaching moment. Miz said that he and Paul would be future tag team champions. Patrick was about to ask about the Battle Royal earlier, and Miz called Styles a loser. He said his career is on a downward spiral. Patrick mentioned that Styles claimed that Miz had tiny balls, and Miz goes, "No, I don't have tiny balls. I have big, great, massive, stupendous, giant balls. We're not talking about my balls." And then AJ showed up and decked Miz in the face. Then they said during the break, Adam Pearce made the match. AJ Styles versus The Miz. The match went 13 minutes and ended with a count out. The Miz took control early before a break. Like, the match started during a break. We came back about 3 minutes later. We were back at break. Styles was on the apron and drove Miz into the barricade. Miz used a DDT for a 2 and followed up with as Corey Graves likes to call them, the world famous it kicks. But Styles blocked the last one and hit a German suplex. Styles used strikes and a facebuster to get a 2. He followed this up with the Fisherman's Carry neckbreaker for another 2. With Styles sitting in the middle rope, Miz brought him down with a code breaker for a 2. Miz then kicked Styles' leg out from under him before hitting a series of kicks and a Danielson-style running knee strike. He got a 2 off of that. Styles countered a skull-crushing finale into a cradle and got a 2 of his own before he followed up with a brainbuster. Styles would then set up for the phenomenal forearm, but Miz simply left the ring and walked to the back. Styles then won by countout. Like, really? Well, where is this leading to? If Miz just says, I don't want to do any more of this match, so I'm just going to go to the back. Like, what? That made no sense. From the back, Ezekiel introduced himself to John Cena. Cena initially seemed surprised, but then well played along. Cena asked if Elias was here tonight because Ezekiel said he was busy showing around Elrod. Cena had some advice for Ezekiel. Never forget who you are. Ezekiel appreciated that. I really wish they would have brought up how it's because of Cena that Elias does Walk with Elias. Like, Elias came up with the idea. John Cena overheard it and said, you got to run with that. You need to run with that and do it. And I think the crowd's going to get really behind that. So I thought that would have been a cool moment for Ezekiel to be like, remember that time when you told my brother that Walk with Elias would get over, that Walk with Elias would be a great catchphrase. It still is to this day. Then Theory confronted Cena, and Theory was great here. Theory cut a majorly good promo. Theory ran down Cena and put over his own accolades, saying, I'm the youngest WWE United States champion. I have this title. I'm only 24 years old. Did you have any titles at 24, John? No, you didn't. How about? Or he was about to take a selfie, but Cena walked away without saying a word. There we go. I don't know where this is leading to, but I thought this was really good. I thought Theory was very intense, but not over the top or anything, like not too intense. I thought Theory cut a great promo on Cena here. More John Cena thank you videos from legends and whatnot. They aired the Kurt Angle one like 3 times for some reason. We got Randy Orton, JBL, Chris Jericho, Stephanie McMahon, Steve Austin. Forgot to mention in the last one, we had Shawn Michaels. We had Triple H, Trish Stratus, Booker T. So then Bianca Belair comes out. Kevin Patrick's interviewing her about her upcoming match this weekend at Money in the Bank with Carmella. And he's like, do you think Carmella is a viable challenger, or are you going to take her lightly? And Belair ran down Carmella before calling her out. Carmella came out and put over her own accomplishments and said she deserves respect. Belair wasn't going to give it to her. She was going to take it. Carmella got into the ring, walked right past Belair, and basically showed her no respect. Belair raised her belt. And then all of a sudden, Carmella jumped back in the ring without her shoes on and tried to attack, but Bianca countered it. Bianca saw the sneak attack coming and knocked Carmella out of the ring. In the back, Sarah Schreiber interviewed Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. Bliss said that she and Morgan were friendly, but she didn't have really any actual friends here in WWE because she doesn't trust anybody. Morgan agreed that they weren't actual friends and said that she wouldn't hesitate to knock Bliss down. She said, friends hold each other up, but coming Saturday, I'm not going to do that for you. I'm going to knock you down off of that ladder. Morgan said that she took some inspiration from John Cena. Her time was now. She would win Money in the Bank. Also, Liv had these like 3 lines that she like rattled off really quickly, like not that fast, but you can tell that she was trying so hard not to forget them, so she did them quick. It was awkward, but she was like, this and this and this and this and this, and then she kind of calmed down and slowed down a little bit, and I was like, oh, she's making sure she didn't forget any of them words and them lines she had to recite. You could tell she was trying hard to not forget any word. This is how quick she was doing it. Bliss said that this wasn't happening, and then she booped her on the nose with a lily doll. Asuka joined commentary for Liv Morgan versus Alexa Bliss that was just shy of 3.5 minutes. Well, not much happened. There's more focus on Asuka at commentary. At one point, during the match, Bliss took most of it, and then all of a sudden, they were focused on Asuka. They cut back to the ring, and all of a sudden I hear ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, well, what did I just miss? I looked away for a second, and Liv Morgan's sitting there, and they're like, well, Liv Morgan just picked up the victory. And they're like, and Corey Graves goes, Asuka? She goes, Asuka? He's like, are you? She goes, are you? Ready? Ready? Is anybody ready? Ready? Nobody ready for Asuka! He's like, that's how you do it, Byron Saxton. So then they said that John Cena's had a lot of accomplishments in his career, but there's one accomplishment that he's the most proud of. And they talked about and showed video of his Make-A-Wish stuff, saying that John Cena has granted more Make-A-Wish wishes than anybody else ever. Then, out came the boss, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. We go to commercial and they say Cena is up next. McMahon's in the ring, roster lined the stage. And Vince says, and Vince said that he wanted to introduce everybody to, well, John Cena. Cena made his way down to the ring. By the time Cena jumped in the ring, Vince was gone. This was good. And Cena made sure that this was not about him. But it was awkward that they did this and they didn't set anything up. But Cena literally said, and I'll get to it here in a moment, I will wrestle again. Not just once, but I don't know when that next time is. So Cena said he was happy to be here in Laredo, Texas. He wasn't much for celebrating milestones because he always wanted to look ahead and not to the past. But tonight was something different. Tonight wasn't about any one of his moments or matches, but the fans that helped him get to this point, the fans that always were behind him or even told him when he sucked. He said the fans were brave enough to tell me I suck or to tell me that they liked what I was doing. Cena said he always wanted to say thank you to the fans, and the crowd said thank you, Cena. Cena thanked them again for moments like this and almost started, he choked up for a moment and almost started to cry, it seemed like. Cena said WWE and the fans have prepared him for everything, and they've made him a better human being, better professional, and a better husband. He said spending time with the fans, especially the ones he spent some time with today, taught him a lot about empathy, caring, and kindness. And they sure as hell taught me about humility. Cena said, also, I'm 45 years old, but we're not going to talk about that. No one needs to know that. And I don't know when the next time you'll see me. But just know, we're not doing, and the fans start chanting, one more match. He goes, well, it's not going to be just one. I just don't know when that next one is. So Cena's basically saying, oh, I ain't done. I'm going to come back and I'm going to wrestle multiple times. My career's not over. I just don't know when the next time's going to be. They started chanting Cena's name again. He said, hey, it's not about me. It's not about a name, the last name, whatever. It's about us. We got this far. We did this. About you guys getting me to this point in my life. And again said, we're just getting started. And if you want some, come get some. Cena then embraced a young fan in the front row before chucking his armbands to the crowd. He then walked off the side of the stage, took the hat off and threw it, took the shirt off, handed it to a little kid, got into the camera and said thank you, went to walk to the back and goes, wait, I guess they want me to turn around one more time. Yeah! Crowd ate this up. They ate it up. Magnalore says, when he said last name, what did he mean? So Cena said, this isn't about a last name. What he meant was, because everyone always chants, Cena, Cena. He's like, it's not about that. It's not about my name. He wanted to make it clear that he really felt that he would not have lasted in WWE for as long as he did, and now have the career outside of WWE that he does without the support of the fans. So Cena is basically saying, you can chant my name all you want, but I could not have done this without fans like you chanting my name and showing people that I deserved this spot, that I deserved everything that I was able to work for. That's what Cena was saying. Cena was saying that it's not about me and my name. It's about the fans who always stuck beside me, whether that was fans cheering for me or booing me. That's basically what it was. Now, as far as when he's going to wrestle next, I think he's got a movie that's going to start filming like relatively soon. Let me see really fast. Cena has 4 movies in post-production, which I'm not sure if any of them need reshoots. Reshoots counts post-production. He's doing a movie with Warner Brothers, Wile E. Coyote, which is filming now. Cena is listed as one of the top stars in the movie. So if that movie's filming now and it's not an animated movie, which I don't believe it's an animated movie, Cena can't wrestle right now. Let me double check and see what this movie is. Wile E. Coyote movie film. Let's see. It is a hybrid live action UK movie, or hybrid live action. It says Wile E. Coyote is a hybrid live action movie from Warner Brothers Studios. Looney Tunes live action animated adaptation. Wile E. Coyote vs. Acme, also known as Wile E. Coyote, will begin shooting in Albuquerque, New Mexico on April 1st and not slated to end till end of summer. The movie is supposed to be filming throughout the summer. So we'll see what this all means. Because again, Cena's been filming this movie, this Looney Tunes movie. Which, Cena in a Looney Tunes movie? Boy, is that going to be good. Boy, is that going to be good. Because Cena's comedic timing would be perfect for wacky, just random Looney Tunes stuff. Like, oh man, this is probably going to be really good. Trying to see one other thing here about the filming of this movie. Yeah, so they've been filming since April, and filming is projected to go through the end of the summer, whatever that means. Whether that's end of July, end of August, early September, we don't know what that means. But filming to the end of the summer. Then he's got another movie also that hasn't started production yet, the Jansen Directive, that he is starring. Well, it's in pre-production. The Jansen Directive, which is a movie The Rock is producing. But that movie is in such pre-production that only Cena is listed for the movie. But The Rock and his company is producing the movie. So we'll see if Cena can wrestle, but if they're still filming Wile E. Coyote and he's a main character, I doubt he can wrestle right now. Next up, we got a 1-on-2 handicap match. It was Bobby Lashley against the Alpha Academy with Theory at ringside as a special guest enforcer. Match went 8 minutes and 20 seconds. Early on, Theory distracted Bobby Lashley, allowing Chad Gable and Otis to take control. After a break, Otis powerbombed Lashley, and Gable followed this up with a moonsault for a 2. Otis went for a Vader bomb, but Lashley got underneath him and hit an electric chair drop, which popped the crowd. Gable tried something off the top, but Lashley caught him in the hurt lock for the submission. There we go. Lashley picks up the victory. Theory immediately attacked Lashley after the match. Three heels put the boots to him. As Theory attempted a selfie, Lashley booted him into the turnbuckle. Lashley gave Otis a flatliner and speared Gable. Lashley was about to spear Theory, but he bailed and jumped in and left the crowd. Then they go, by the way, after the break, we got an interview with Cody Rhodes. A new interview. Like, oh, okay. It was a video of Cody from his house. Pre-tape. Rhodes said he was at the peak of his career. And just a few weeks ago, wanted to parlay that moment of Hell in a Cell into Money in the Bank. However, he flew a little too close to the sun, and he figured Seth Rollins would say the same thing. He was being told that it would take 9 months to return. Well, he respected that, but he said that's not going to happen. Rhodes looks forward to watching Money in the Bank this weekend. He's mentioned all the different guys that he wanted to get in there with, like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. Sheamus is a Harley Race level wrestler, a Harley Race tough level wrestler. He said Omos is very imposing. He may not even need a ladder. And we know Sami Zayn is a genius in the ring. Rhodes said that it sure would be something if history repeated itself, if Seth Rollins would win and then successfully cash in and became the champion. He said, quote, I'm not rooting for anybody, but if Seth takes the win, I think I'd be the first to congratulate him. So we'll see what this all means for Cody, but Cody most likely out the rest of the year. I mean, they're saying rest of the year. Maybe he can come back sooner. July, August, September, October, November. I mean, even 5 months is November. So I don't see Cody coming back by the end of the year. Rollins approached Cena in the back, and he did his laugh, but into the tone of John. He's like, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha. Rollins said that he was happy to see Cena, while also reminding Cena of the time that, well, my knee went up into your nose and broke it. Also, we have something in common. We both won Money in the Bank, but ooh, maybe that's a little too hard because yours wasn't successful. Rollins continued to ramble, but Cena noticed there was something behind him, and it was Omos and MVP. MVP warned Rollins about what Omos would do to everybody in Money in the Bank. He basically tried comparing Omos to Thanos. Cena was in awe, staring up at Omos. He sarcastically wished Rollins good luck. We then had the main event of the night. It was the women's last chance Money in the Bank qualifier for the final spot in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Xia Li, Becky Lynch, Nikki ASH, Shayna Baszler, Tamina, and Doudrop. It was also an elimination match that went just shy of 13 and a half minutes. So Lynch first eliminated Xia Li early on with a manhandle slam, about 2.5 minutes in. 2 minutes later, Lynch eliminated Nikki ASH via the disarmer. After a break, Lynch suplexed Baszler into the barricade before Doudrop ran over both Lynch and Tamina. They did a Tower of Doom spot where Doudrop powerbombed Lynch, Tamina and Baszler and then Tamina and Baszler flew off the ropes. Baszler had Tamina in a leg lock, but Doudrop splashed Baszler and pinned her for the elimination. Doudrop also eliminated Tamina with an elbow drop off the top. Lynch and Doudrop, final two. Lynch avoided a Vader bomb before giving Doudrop a manhandle slam off the middle ropes and pinned her for the final elimination, eliminating her and qualifying for Money in the Bank. So with that, as far as the women's Money in the Bank ladder match does go, we do now know that it is Lacey Evans, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Asuka, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch. So these 7 women will be competing in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match this Saturday. Well, that was it. That was Monday Night Raw. A very easy show to watch, an entertaining show, and a show that I felt didn't have really anything bad. Now, if you said Carmella and the Carmella Bianca segment was bad, I really couldn't argue that because it was just decent in my opinion. But I felt like tonight's Raw, pretty dang good episode of Raw. It flowed well, it paced well, and it flew by. By the time it was over, I'm like, sure, 8 o'clock already? Holy crap. But with that, that's Monday Night Raw. Those are my thoughts. Now I want to hear what you guys thought of the show. Remember, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. So let's check that. But first off, also remember, we got to check the text messages. No, the polls. As far as the polls do go, we got the Twitch poll here. 64% liked the show. 27% thought it was just all right. And 9% did not like Raw. As far as the YouTube community poll does go, refresh that one to get the full 500 votes. There we go. 55% liked it. 33% thought it was just all right. And 12% did not like Raw. Any comments on there? People saying we didn't need Vince. It was a fun Raw. Where it says Raw continues to be awful. I don't know about that one. Okay, here's my thing. Why are you gonna comment and go, I didn't watch it? Well, then why fucking comment? As far as the Twitter poll does go. Huh? There we go. It was showing me 0 people voted in the Twitter poll. I'm like, no, I saw something earlier. Refresh again. 47.6% liked the show. 35.7% thought it was just all right. And 16.7% did not like Raw. As we check the text messages, it says, who do you see becoming Mr. and Mrs. Money in the Bank? Well, I'm not going to give those just yet, because I will be doing predictions later this week. It says, you see Seth winning the briefcase, and then at SummerSlam, we get the Heist of the Century 2.0. Again, I could see it. I don't know if that's going to happen, but again, I'm going to keep all predictions for later this week. More, who do you think is going to win? Versus, where's Kevin Owens? I have no clue. This person says, I would rather see Miz and Ciampa moments. What? I would rather see more Miz and Ciampa moments than Logan Paul moments. Gotcha. Also, are you surprised that not did Daniel Bryan send a message, but Big Show and Chris Jericho is what? Not did Daniel Bryan, huh? I was surprised that Bryan, Big Show, Paul White, and Jericho did all send messages. So yes, I was surprised, if that's what you're asking. Where it says, I'm confused. Is John's next match going to be with Seth or Theory? Well, maybe both. Remember, Cena said, hey, you want one more match? Well, it's not going to be just one. Oh my God. Kevin Owens is the greatest. Kevin Owens is the greatest. Kevin Owens just tweeted the greatest tweet he could have tweeted tonight. I need to pull this up on the screen. Kevin Owens is the best. Oh my God, I didn't even think about this, but Kevin Owens is the best. This is why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I didn't want to go to Texas, so I didn't. Leave me alone. That is the greatest excuse for him not being on the show tonight. The greatest excuse. Like, oh my God, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. I didn't want to go to Texas, so I didn't. Leave me alone. Wow, that's brilliant. I need to, yeah. But with that, guys, those are all the text messages. That's everything we got. And that was Monday Night Raw. So with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited if you were watching live. Or thank you if you're watching on YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Or if you're listening on podcast services all around the globe like Twitter. Nope, like Anchor, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Pod, Apple Pod, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Also, I do want to let you know that here very shortly, like in less than an hour, hopefully in the next less than 20, 30 minutes, I will be live, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. Evolve PR sent me an early code for the brand new MX versus ATV Legends game. We're going to be streaming the crap out of that game. We are going to be streaming MX versus ATV Legends. I got an early code. The game actually doesn't come out till tomorrow. We're playing it now. We're playing it, we're streaming it, and we're having a good time. I haven't touched the game because I didn't want to have any impressions until I did it on stream. So with that, head over, follow me, twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, as I'm going to try and be live in the next about 20, 30 minutes to play some MX versus ATV Legends. Brand new game that actually doesn't come out till tomorrow. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.